Okay, Shelly, thanks for joining me. We are live. This is part of a month-long goal that I have had to go live on YouTube and Facebook every weekday for the month of August. And tomorrow is the last business day, weekday of August. So today I've already hit my goal today because we've gone live. And then by doing it tomorrow, then I will have accomplished my goal to have gone live every single day in the month of August. So I appreciate you joining me to be a part of this little learning journey that I have been on. And it has definitely been a learning curve. I know you have a lot of experience speaking and presenting, and I know you're like on a national stage. And we'll get into here in a minute on why that is, but you are very respected in this industry. And so you're probably used to this kind of stuff, but it's been a big learning curve for me. And so anybody who's helped me do it, like you coming on the episode with me, I really, really appreciate that.
I think it's natural for anybody. Like, I mean, I'm learning every single day. So I think that doesn't matter. We're always learning, and technology is always fun sometimes too, right?
Yeah, we have had a couple of technology problems here and there, but for the most part, I've been pretty blessed on that. So
That's awesome.
I'm grateful for that. So Shelly, in just a minute, I'll ask you to sort of fill in the gaps on what I'm about to say. But you and I know each other, even though we're in markets that are literally across the country, because of the nature of the eXp business model.
Right.
And it's one of the things that I love the best about this business model is that there are agents that I would have no business being in business with. There'd be no way I would really ever do that. But because of the way this model is set up, and because of some of the things that we have set up to be like business plans on top of the eXp business model, we get to be in business with each other. And so my sponsor into eXp is from North Carolina, and you are his sponsor, you and Craig.
Yep.
And so that's how we know each other. I'll just mention to all those who are watching either live or by replay that Shelly she's partners with Craig, and she and Craig run a super successful team in North Carolina, and have lots of other realtors that they have influence over because of the eXp model all over the world. And their team, their actual, they're right there, boots on the ground team, consistently produces between 100 and 150 million in production. So it's nothing to sneeze at. And Shelly, I've just always really enjoyed your company. I've always kind of just sat at your feet to learn. And I'm looking forward to doing that today. What else would you want to add about who you are and what you and Craig have put together?
Well, I love our team. We have an incredible team in Charlotte, like you said, and it's been a real honor. Like, this was a surprise to me, being, these relationships we've built through eXp, like great business partners, people who I respect in the industry, like you, Cody, who run a high level business. You're highly profitable, and you just do a really good job, and you care about people, and you're very on point. And I love the fact that we can all collaborate and really build something massive together, not just for ourselves, but since we're really focused toward team leaders and helping them get their biggest opportunity, it's them and their team. And every good team leader is worried about their team. So that was us too. We were thinking like that.
Yeah, so when I was considering, I was with a different brokerage, and I was considering where I was going to move to because I knew the spot I was in wasn't going to be the right location. One of the key conversations that I had was together with Craig.
Yes.
And anybody who knows Craig knows that my brain and his brain are pretty similar in the thought processes. And so the way he said some things really resonated with me. And one of the things that I really loved was just how genuine I could tell he was, and by extension, how genuine you are, just about pouring back into the agents, and not just agents on your team, but pouring into any agent, and just trying to make our industry be better. And I definitely think that if every team leader were like you and Craig, the real estate business would be a very different thing.
I think we just cascade onto each other, right? I mean, that's our passions. I know it's your passion too, to just help these agents be able to sell more houses in a more effective way with their time, and also keep some of the money they're making for their families. Because I've been in the industry since 2004. I started in Maryland, and when I left my Maryland business to go to Lake Norman for a lifestyle decision, my husband and I'm from Charleston originally. I left a really big business in Maryland, and the really cool thing about eXp is, I didn't know this at the time when we joined. We joined initially because it had great opportunities for the team. And we initially joined because, one, our agents were going to be able to keep more of the money that they made. They were going to get a forced retirement plan, which a lot of agents don't have. We had medical before any other company ever had medical insurance for agents. It was going to allow us to do more for our agents as a leader, because we were going to have some other income streams as well, because as a result of partnering with eXp, and be able to pour back into our agents to build a bigger business for them. And we've tripled our business since we made the move. So those were really big catalysts that helped us. I remember sitting with Craig. We were at a lot of team members will know Boomtown. I mean, that was like a platform we were using. And we were at a Boomtown meeting in Charleston, sitting in a meeting with Kevin and Craig. And I looked at him and I said, we're only as good as our last transaction. And we had not heard about eXp yet. At that time, we were literally just trying to figure out a better way. It was 2017. And the only thing I needed to do is open another brokerage, like our own independent. And then I thought, and one of my friends, Meg Watson, she said to me, Shell, she's like, I love you. You're one of the hardest working girls I know. She's like, where are you going to get time to put on all the other hats when you have a boutique? How are you going to have time for that?
Yeah.
I remember being a little upset with her, because I thought, what else can I do? Because I'm a connector. I'm a people person. I love sales. I love helping our clients. I love helping our team. I love all of our industry. But I didn't know how we were ever going to be able to do more for everybody. And a couple weeks later, eXp was put in our lap. And I was like, this actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, some of the stuff you're describing is very, very real to me. I can feel it like in my heart, because I was a team leader. I had 15 agents, and I was like, if I add one more agent to my life, I mean, I'm going to die. I was doing everything that I could to make them be successful as possible. I tried to be as available as I could be, but it was absolutely crushing me. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and exactly some of the details in just a minute here. But yeah, I mean, the model for me was like such a relief for some of the burdens and problems that I was facing. And like, to find, it's really, really a rare thing in your life where you'll find a solution that is that good of a solution and that quick of a solution. And that was kind of what Craig was describing to me. Like, you guys were looking for a certain thing, and boom, it's like all of a sudden it's there. It was plug and play for you guys. And obviously you put your own spin on everything, but it was just a relief. I could hear the relief in his voice, and I yearned for that at that time, for sure.
It's funny you say that, because that's exactly where I was. At the time, I'm not going to say my age because my birthday is in 2 days, but at the time I remember thinking, when I'm X amount of age, I don't even care how old I'll tell you how old I am, but I'm just teasing. But when I'm like in 20 years, am I going to be able to keep doing this at this level? And the answer was no. And did I want to go through another recession without any other backup plan other than being at the mercy of our markets? And, we're going through a transition right now, or a market change. We've been going through a market change, and absolutely, this has been a huge benefit to having this income coming in from the revenue piece to help our team. We have never once had to lay one person off, ever. We've been able to maintain everything we do for our agents. I mean, and we've been able to do even more for our agents, probably than most brokerages could even do for their agents as an individual team, which is huge. And then you take that and you compound that with the relationship, the referrals within our organization, that because we all focus on each other and we really do dig in, like Cody said. We didn't know each other, but here we are on a Zoom, and this has been years now. This is not like, oh, once I talk to Cody once in a while. Like, if he calls my number, I'm picking it up, and we're like, hey man, what you need? It's that kind of, and Craig is the same way. And our business partnership, people are like, how do you do a business partnership? And this has been great for our partnership, because it's allowed us to do more for our families too, as well as our agents' families. So anybody that is looking at this, for their team, for their family, you really do need to do a deep dive on the numbers of what it can look like for you, because I think sometimes people underestimate the power of this company.
Yeah, you're bringing up some really, really interesting things. And anytime we talk anything about numbers, it's interesting to me because I'm a numbers guy for sure. But if you think about what a broker tries to provide and the resources and training and help and support to agents that a broker tries to provide, that is expensive. To do that the right way is expensive. And so to think that there's a way to provide it in a way that is actually not very expensive is like, well, that seems like it'd be way too good to be true. And to be honest with you, when I was looking into the model, I didn't believe it could be that good. I really didn't, just because I'm a business thinker. And I just thought, that's just not how it works in business. But the thing that changes all of that is scale. And when you have something like this that is on such a massive scale, and when you guys joined, it wasn't really scaled yet. And even me, it wasn't really that scaled yet. It was more scaled, but not that scaled yet. But now we have the benefit of scale in a way that lets us provide for our people. And this is why Joe D in our group, brought his boutique brokerage over, because the scale of this let him provide those things to the agents in a way that was way less expensive than trying to do all of that himself. So you ended up getting better for less, which is like, how often do you find that? You got to jump on that when you do find it,
Well, it was funny too, because I remember earlier I said we were going to open a boutique. That was our path. Craig and I were already starting to look at some space for that. And we were basically on that roadmap of creating our own path, because franchises were like a no-go for me. I'm like, yeah. I knew that was never going to be a great plan, because a lot of the market, if you look at franchises, the markets were taken. They were trying to micro market their franchises. And then if you looked at the boutique, like my friend very clearly pointed out to me, Shelly, you're going to be putting on a lot of hats. This allows us to act like a boutique brokerage or a boutique team inside of a huge, massive company. And you get to still be exactly who you are. You just put your logo, your colors. There's no, you don't lose your brand. Like if you're a boutique and you're in a market and you are the brand for that market, guess what? You can still be that brand for that market. eXp is just your powerful play button to even make you even more dominant in that market. And that's really exciting to me that we have that opportunity to do that for boutiques and teams.
Yeah, it's interesting, because that's actually one of the things that was so intriguing to me about the model, is that most brokerages want you to brand them because they're trying to build their brand. And I understand that. I'm a business guy. I get that entirely, why any broker would want you to do that. But eXp had clearly not done a lot to try to promote their brand. And it was because the leadership could see that they were never going to attract the big influential people in the business if those people weren't going to be able to keep their brand. And so, yeah, I mean, that was a thing I had a lot of conversation with about Joe when he was joining and bringing over his brokerage, is he kept all of his branding. We were able to figure out how to do that. So it was compliant with Nevada. It was compliant with the eXp rules. It was one of the most compelling things about it to me. So I'm glad you brought that up as well.
And what's really unique about our company is led by top team realtors from the top down. Glenn Sanford owned his own team, and he built eXp out of a pain point of being in multiple markets where people were trying to, at the time they were doing expansion teams, if you will. And he had a real expansion team in 2008 doing $60 million a year, which was very hard to hit those numbers in that time period. And the other cool thing is, Leo Parejo, who is our CEO, he also mega agent talent in my Maryland, North Virginia market as well. He was number one KW agent, and he created a company called Remind. A lot of us know that company. He sold that company, and he is now our CEO. He's a businessman. He leads with numbers. My husband always says he carries big data. So he takes that big data to be able to help these agents make good decisions for their teams. And he's a true leader. They're approachable. They interact with us. They help us with our business. We have leadership trainings for the top talent. So they actually look at the company as a whole, pull out the top talent, and we don't just meet once a year or a pat on the back for a good job. No, these are tactical trainings. They're taking people like yourself, myself, and other people who are watching this. If you want tactical training and tactical ways to scale and save yourself time and not have to pay a ton of money for it, it's all part of what we do. You're in the room with the people who run massive businesses, and we all share.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really good.
I love that. And talking about the EXP world is kind of getting down to the weeds a little bit, but I just want to mention it because it's such a resource
It is.
for getting support and help that you need, but also the training that's going on inside of there. The
Mhm.
last time I checked into it, it was more than 50 hours a week of live training for all different levels of people in the business.
Right.
And I don't know of anywhere else where you can kind of go on demand, go out there, look at the calendar, see what's available that week, pick which things are compelling to you, and then just show up that day through the internet using the virtual world and attend. And it's not like these are being taught by people who aren't in the business. These are being taught by people who are doing hundreds of transactions and really know what they're doing. I've got some of my best ideas from attending some of those things inside of the EXP world.
And did you know that, I'm sure you know this, but FastCap, they created a FastCap program. So if you have a team, we all have team members who are newer to the industry. The agents, or maybe they've lost some traction in their business, or you're going to scale them up to the next level. Even our top producers have joined FastCap, and it's a program that they can go into, and literally it's all about getting them to cap. So that way they're highly productive. They're happy, good agents. These agents go out there and they tell their husbands and their wives and their children, we're going to go sell houses. And then they get in our industry and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I like how they flounder and they try to figure it out on the fly. We have a tactical program inside of eXp that helps these agents be successful. And guess what, team leader? That's a hat you can take off. So you can be checking with them, holding them accountable with FastCap, but you can actually be running alongside them, let someone else who's really good train them, get them making the calls. I mean, this thing weighs 500 pounds for most people for whatever reason. And they get these agents engaged in doing the activities that are going to end up in results. And we all know it. This is an massive action business gets results. And that's what they get these agents doing. So if you have a team and you want to get your time back and you want to help your agents be productive and you don't want to feel like you're just harping on them like you're their mom, this is a great resource that eXp provides. I love it. I think it's amazing. We have a director of ops, a coach on our team. We have our transaction coordinator. We have our VA team. But now we also have our eXp team that's training, and they're working with our coaches and our director of ops so that my director of ops can be more focused on maybe the agents that are here, all these different places where we are able to really be more on purpose with what we're doing as a team. So,
Yeah. Any excuse that an agent has that they're not getting enough or there's not enough for them to chew on is gone. It's just gone. I mean, especially with what we've done with building synergy on top of the eXp platform. So agents have all of the eXp resources. They have all of the synergy resources. They have our board of directors. They have our agent advisory committee. We have a local advisory committee. We have a statewide advisory committee. I mean, there's so much for people to get, and they can tailor fit it to whatever they're looking to have.
Yeah, they really thought of everything.
Realtors, if you're watching live or on replay, even if it's on replay, please, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. Shelly and I will, if we need to, we'll loop back around if you're watching this on replay to answer your questions. And if anyone wants to get a hold of Shelly, here is the best way to do that. That's her email address and phone number. If you're interested in scheduling any time with me, I am always willing to meet with any realtor from any company. Just talk with them about their business and what they can do to improve it. I've been on a mission for about 5 years now to try to improve our industry. I felt like I'd accomplished what I wanted to in the business, and I decided I wanted to make the business better. So that QR code in the upper corner above Shelly is for you to scan there. That takes you directly to my calendar, and you can book directly there. You can see what time works best for you, and would be happy to chat with you about that.
Yeah, definitely reach out to Cody. He's been huge in our business and helping us grow and build. And I'm telling you, he's a huge resource. And I will tell you, getting the numbers with him, like if you're a team or a boutique or an agent, even if you're an agent that's a high level producer, or just, you're just trying to figure out your way, definitely book an appointment with him, because I will promise you, when you get off the phone with him, you're going to have some more clarity of where you're going, and you never know where that relationship could take you. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that. That's a huge offer, Cody, that you give that time to people.
Yeah, well, and even though we're talking all about eXp today, if somebody wants to just talk with me about their business without being worried that I'm going to be coming with a hard press to recruit them to eXp, I promise I don't do that. I just don't approach it that way. I never have. I teach 100 hours a year of free CE and don't make any effort to try to like force people to be recruited in those efforts. I just do that because I like seeing agents be successful. It's very fulfilling for me. And lots of times what we are providing is a good fit for people. And when it is, great, we do that. And when it isn't, then we help them be successful wherever they are. I wanted to just mention a little bit more about kind of some of the things that kind of brought me and my team over to the eXp model. When I first got my license, and the reason that I wanted to talk about this today with you is because I have been contacted recently in the last few months by a lot of people and they said to me, when you went to eXp, I thought you were crazy. And now I realized you made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been having some very interesting conversations with people who for years have just sort of been watching to see if it was going to be successful. And it reminded me of when I first got my license. A team leader had come to the realty school to recruit agents out of realty school. And I really liked the guy. I was actually pretty compelled to be on his team because I thought he would actually really help catapult me into success.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like the model he was in, the brokerage that he was with. And so I told him I'm not coming because of that. And about 6 months after I had my license and I'm sort of off and running and trying to be as successful as I could as a new agent, I heard word that he had now joined the brokerage that I had chosen. And the first time I saw him, he said, you chose this place and you chose right. And that's why I have now brought my entire team over. It was like 100 agents. He brought over a huge team.
Wow.
And so that has happened to me now, sort of, again, with these kinds of things where people say, oh, you really did think this all the way through and you really did sort of figure it out. And for me, the ability to be able to provide for agents an infrastructure and environment that maximizes their success is such an important thing. I just feel like this business is tough enough trying to do it the hard way. And so if we can give agents an environment that really will be conducive to their success and not just like in word only, but in actually providing it, that is something that I'm very, very intrigued by. And so in the beginning, it was kind of like will it be the case? I'll give it a whirl. And here we are like 5 years later thinking this is the best business decision that a business guy like me could have ever made. And I'll say it again, Shelly, it's so valuable for me to be in business with people like you, Craig, Bill Price, Brent Gove. These people are just absolute leaders in the industry. And I'm in business with you and you're interested in my success. And so that just is so comforting for me to go from being the guy who had the whole weight on my shoulders alone to now feeling like I've got so many people in my corner. It's almost hard to choose who I'm going to call on when I need help.
It's funny you say that because Brent and I talked about 2 weeks ago where we've had this massive event down in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's coming on the September 10th and the 11th, charlottebuild25.com. We do get together in person all the time. So it's really fun. So when I was planning for that, what Brent said to me, he's like, leadership can be really lonely. And I'm like, thank goodness. Like, when you're doing something hard or difficult that's growing yourself personally, you're going to feel those places where you're like, is it worth it? Is it the energy I'm expending to do this really worth it? And then you get on the phone with a Brent Gove or a Cody Lewis and they're like, girl, this is amazing. Like, have you heard how awesome? Like last year, people were raving about this event. It is so worth it. But leadership is a lonely place. And that's where I'm going to. He said, so to have those people that you can call on and, you pick up the phone, immediately they give you that boost of energy, because as a leader, we're by ourselves. We're kind of siloed in our own little space. But what if I hadn't had that person to call on to pour into me? Because I have to pour out to others, and as leaders and as entrepreneurs and people that we are in this industry, that's what we need. And even like an agent who's a high level solo agent, they need to have a bigger vision, and your vision for your team needs to be bigger than just transactions, because you're going to provide for their family an opportunity to acquire stock, the forced retirement plan. They're going to get it whether they like it or not, which is awesome. And then, that's opportunity to build an organization which Cody, you've built an incredible organization and been able to that's going to pass down to your heirs. And that's amazing that we're able to build something that passes down to our family. It doesn't go away. So that's a wonderful thing. And our team members are able to also partake in that. And I have a lot of agents on our team currently who have really nice organizations that are paying it, and they're not taking it from the agent. What I want people to understand is it's coming from what we're basically it's like a profit share back to it's revenue share back to us, but they're not taking it. They're taking it out of their split and saying, hey, you're a partner of ours and helping build this company, and we're doing this together. We're going to share it back to you and your group, and everybody wins. And that's a really huge differentiator. And we were the change in that. And the opportunity right now for eXp with being zero debt and the trajectory we're on with the growth and where agents are in this market shift that we've been in, this is your opportunity right now to really build, not you, all of us, not all of us. And why not you be the one? And I'm talking to you, audience. Cody knows this, but why not you? Why not for you and your family? Why not for not you and your agents to have something more and bigger that you can literally take and it feels good to give ownership to people. And that's what Glenn created with us. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things I liked the absolute best about it, was that in the model I was in, no matter how I structured it, it was always like I needed to keep those team members dependent upon me, because otherwise they would leave. And that was, against my business model. My business model was to have more team members, right? With this model, I want people to get what they need and get off the team as quick as possible. And I want them to have in front of them the opportunity that I have in front of me. And they do. They have the same, it's literally no different. They have the exact same opportunities to do whatever they want to do, build whatever they want to build. And they have people like us who want to see them be successful. I mean, it's really, really fun to do that way.
And the old models, when a team member would leave, you'd be like happy for them, but you're kind of sad because you put a lot of energy into that person and helping them grow. And you're happy that they grew and you were part of that growth. But now, not only do they leave and they don't go away, they stay with you, and now you're business partners, but you didn't have to go into business together and sign some contract. Now you're business partners and you choose to work together and do this great thing that you're impacting lots of lives. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because like I mentioned, I have a lot of people now who are saying, okay, so wait, what is this? And why haven't I been a part of this? And when they see the real light of it and they get rid of all the misperceptions out there or the things that they've been told by, their sales manager or whatever, who doesn't want them listening to us, and they see what it really is all about, it is an amazing model. And it's rich environment for success, for sure.
That's rich environment for success. Those are some good words right there. And it's
Shelly,
every way.
Yeah. So Shelly, let's talk a little bit about the Unbook Club, okay?
Oh yeah, let's do that. I'm excited about that.
So a little while ago, I had this idea to do what I was going to call, I wanted to do a book club. And then I kept thinking, how am I going to get the realtors to read the book? How am I going to get anyone else to read the book? How am I going to get people to read the book, right? And then I thought, well, maybe there's a way to do it where we don't have to have them read the book. And so I started putting together the plans to have the Unbook Club. And literally right when I was about to launch it, I see you announcing a book club for the book that I was planning to start with. And I was like, wait a second, I need to be doing this together with Shelly. And so we're doing it. We are, let me add this to this day. Yeah. So September 17th is our first Unbook Club meeting. And we're doing this with the book, Buy Back Your Time. And Shelly, I know you can attest to this. This is not just for realtors. This is for everybody. Yes. And the book will definitely change your views on your time and your skill set and things like that. And the reason we're calling it the Unbook Club is because if you want to prove us wrong and read the book, we would love it. And I think it will add to the conversation. But even if you don't, even if you do what we think might happen, we will do the reading. We've done the reading. We will do all the work. We'll have a conversation ready to be had. All you got to do is show up on Zoom and participate. And this link right here, zoomshelly.com, that's your Zoom link, Shelly. And that's where we're going to be doing that. That's going to be on the 17th of September at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So we hope that everybody listening, realtor and non-realtor alike, will join us. And Shelly, what would you like to say about that and that book?
Well, I don't know if you've all watched Dan Martell on some social media, but he's a super interesting man because he's basically was the guy that should never be where he is today. And he really does talk about the ladder of how to really unencumber yourself so you get out of the day-to-day things that are really holding you back from taking your hat off and really getting, it's funny, I have my cowgirl hat on, taking your hat off and really getting that leverage that you need. Because right now we've been talking about EXP, and basically EXP is a leverage point, right? And so is getting your time back. So, and EXP is actually the ultimate time getter backer, if you will.
Backer, I love that.
Backer. So this is the perfect because it kind of goes hand in hand with that, but also it really goes into, Dan has a really good, simple way of breaking things down so that you go, oh, that's why I do that. And I know that if you come to this book club, Cody and I are going to break this down for you in less than 30 minutes, and you're going to walk away and go, that was a great book. I just did not read. And you're probably going to go pick the book up and really read it. So you're welcome, Dan Martell.
Yeah, look, I'm a researcher by nature. I'm an analyst researcher, as you know. And so people call me all the time and they say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a bike, but I know you've already thought this all the way through. And I'm like, yep, I got da 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 da. So I'm just going to try to apply that like energy that I have to fill to this Unbook Club and share everything I can about these books. And we have them scheduled through the end of the year, and we've got really good books for every month for September through December. And depending on how it goes and how much people love it, they would probably just push into the next year and just keep it rolling.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited because one thing it makes me do, it makes me read the books too. Anytime you're learning from each other, we're all learning. It's great. But I love that we're doing this. I got excited when Cody texted me. He's like, I got this idea. I was like, I love your idea. Let's do it. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to make it where you get good value from it. It's going to be organized. Cody's very organized, which I love about him. And then we're together. We're just, we can apply some of the real estate tactical side to the book club. And that's what we're going to do. So you can implement it right in your business. My goal is when you leave this meeting, you have 3 things you can take and put in your business. It's not just to like listen to us and then that was really good. I really like Cody and Shelly. They're fun to listen to about their book club. But here are some tactical things you're going to take away. And one of the things today, I hope this is okay, Cody, I want you to take one tactical thing away today. One tactical thing is I want you to take your agents and get them to make 5 phone calls tomorrow. Because I promise you next week, those 5 phone calls, if you have 10 agents, that's 50 phone calls. If they get 3 to 4 deals, you're going to have happier agents. But the thing of it is we don't give our agents little small micro moments to just win. So they make 5 phone calls and then you check back with them at the end of the day and say, how'd it go? And they're like, oh, I didn't make them. Well, then like, oh, she's really holding me accountable. That's a good thing. And then 2, they go, I said, great. Well, you have till Tuesday to do it because it's a long weekend, but we're still going to hold you accountable. And then 2, what will happen is their confidence goes up. And sometimes you might overhear those, if you're in the same room together, you hear the conversations. And sometimes we'll do them on a Zoom. But 5 phone calls can be life-changing to that agent. And that's where we start. We don't start with rev share. We start with sales in our eXp model. And those 5 phone calls could be exactly what saves your agent from paying their bill. Because let's be real, these agents are struggling right now. They can pay their mortgage. They just don't believe they can do it yet. And that's one of the things I wanted to give you guys to walk away with today.
I love it, Shelly. You're always thinking team leader, help other agents, make everybody as successful as possible. And I love how you take something really simple that could have massive impact in a brokerage or a team, or even for an individual agent, just getting in the habit of picking up that 500-pound weight you had before and making those calls. Definitely a great thing. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Charlotte Build conference? You mentioned it, but I can tell you, I've been to a lot of realtor events, and I know that some of them are not that great. I know that this one is fantastic. So tell us about that.
I'm so excited for it. With this our second year doing the Charlotte Build. We have some incredible speakers. One of them built her entire business off of YouTube. She literally has her clients picking the phone up going, hey, would you help me with my home sale or buy my house? She has a strategy that shows her authentic self. It's, yes, there's some scripting involved, but you get to be authentically you, which is what we're being on this call. So I love that. And she's built a $30 million company. We have producers in the room. Now you'd be like, I don't want a $30 million company. Well, do you want a $5 million company? Well, just, you don't have to do as much as she did, but you still need to do all the stuff, So it's actually funny. One thing Craig said to me, speaking back to my business partner, he said, I was like, oh, what if we had 20 agents? He's like, why not? Everything is like, why not? Why could we not do that? I mean, why not? I mean, it's actually less work to have a bigger business, which is so strange to me. You think more work, it's going to take more time away from my family. It's actually going to give you your time back. So anyways, my point is this build event in Charlotte is going to be fire. We have 2 tickets. We have a $97 ticket. It's a general admission. It's a packed full a day of just powerful people bringing all the goods, and nothing is being sold from stage. It's all just take it and implement it in your business. Whether you're a team, solo agent, you're just getting started, this is the room you should be in. It's super easy to get to Charlotte if you don't live in Charlotte. And then the other thing about the event is the VIP day. We have a second day at the U.S. National Whitewater Center. The morning is going to be a VIP networking event. And then we have a 3-hour mastermind where we dig deeper from day one. So we really dig into wealth building, how to really build your business, talk about attraction, all the things that you want to do to build your team so you have more agents to be able to help. And then in the afternoon, we're going to team build. We're going to go whitewater rafting. We're going to go zip lining. We're going to do a ropes course, because if you've never been to the U.S. Whitewater National Whitewater Center, it is so cool. It's a controlled river where they actually practice for the Olympic trials.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. And they have these rafts, and you get in there and you surf the waves because they're controlled. It's always the same water flow, but it's a real river, man-made, but it's so cool. It is.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Everybody loves it. So we're doing that in the afternoon, team building, and people are laughing, having fun. Because if you really want to build your team, have fun with your team, because that's where you get to know, like, oh, I'm afraid of, I didn't know you're afraid of swim water. Like, you get people in a raft that are afraid of water, they're all of a sudden they love it. So it's kind of cool. But my point is the build event is about connecting, networking, referrals, being able to do something great. And I've been told by a lot of people it's the best of real estate event they've ever attended. So I've been to some great events. So I don't know, you always want to do better, and we are leveling up big time this year from last year, and last year's was great. So thank you for.
No, I mean, those build events, I mean, it's not the first rodeo. The people who put those on, including you guys, know what you're doing now. And I can tell everybody it's worth it. I've been to Charlotte just to attend these types of events, and I was definitely not disappointed. I'm sure that anyone who attends Build is going to be very happy that they were there. Yeah, you actually were speaker at one of our other Build events, and he's an incredible speaker. It's such what I love about you, Cody, is you're tactical, and you relate it to what we do, and you help break things down to make it clean for people to help be able to make a good decision. And that's so important. So that was amazing what you presented on stage. So you're looking at a really good speaker right here who says he's not. It's hilarious to me. Well, thank you for the compliments coming from you. I actually really value and appreciate that very much. So, well, Shelly, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you being on. If anybody feels like, you make a connection with Shelly and are interested in listening to her about what she has to offer for you as a real estate agent, team leader, brokerage, whatever, reach out to her with this contact information. And again, if you want to meet with me, you can scan that QR code that's in the upper corner, and that'll take you straight to my calendar. Please don't delay, book time with me. And the worst it's going to cost you is a little bit of time, right? So it might actually turn out to be something really fantastic for you. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you could be with both of us too. We could do a little trio meeting too. So yeah, we could do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So if you want to hang out with the two of us, we're ready. All right. Well, thanks again, Shelly, and good luck with your Build conference. I'm actually still trying to see if I can get there. I have a conflict that's making it tough for me, but I'm going to try. Um,
got if you make it to build, Charlotte, I'm gonna have a surprise for you.
oh, okay. You're steaming the pot here. It's hard because my October is sort of shot because of eXp Con. It's a big
Yeah.
commitment. So to be going, across the country twice in 2 months is hard to juggle. But
Okay.
even if I don't make it to that, I'll see you on the 17th for our Unbook Club, and that'll be a really fun conversation as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate it. And Cody's the man, so just listen to him. He knows what he's doing. He's got you.
All right, thanks, Shelly. Bye, everybody.